Hey, what's up, everybody? As some of you know, I am starting the process of getting my master's in exercise science and nutrition. Simultaneously, I've also decided because I think I can get this done pretty quick because a lot of the information is stuff that I know. I just need to learn some specific things in the way that they want me to learn it, and that is getting my certified strength and conditioning specialist credential out of the way. So I plan on getting that done as I'm starting this exercise science degree as well. Part of that process, I'm refreshing. I'm going through information at a different level, a little bit more, some areas more specifically, some areas more broad, but just trying to refresh a lot of the knowledge that I've gained over the past 12 plus years, all the training, certifications, hands-on experience, everything I have in order to get ready for this test. In doing that, I'm making connections and remembering things that I'm gonna, as things pop into my head, I'm listening to a video, I'm reading an article, I'm reading a book or something like that. I'm gonna try to put some stuff out here because they're little tidbits of information I think could be helpful. One of them just hit me as I'm going through a section right now on anabolic hormones and the things that we need to do to trigger and get the most out of our exercise to improve our hormones and improve our endocrine system, how our body repairs and builds muscle, all those types of things. So primarily with the idea being and the concept, because remember, you guys know I like concepts and principles more than I like specific protocols. The idea being that was going over in the training was the more muscle fibers that are activated, the more stimulus and response your endocrine system has. So the more you excite the muscle fiber, the more hormone receptors and the more hormones are produced. Okay, so the more muscle you have, the more hormone receptors you have, the more muscle fibers you activate, the more hormones are created that combine to those receptors and do what the hormones need to do in your muscle cells. Okay, so thinking about that, okay, what do we do? How can we improve the number of muscle fibers that we activate when we exercise? Okay, the first thing we can do is make sure that we're doing resistance training. Okay, but we need to make sure that we're doing resistance training as heavy as we can. It has to be challenging. Now, that doesn't mean, I don't mean as heavy as you can as everything has to be 100% effort, but you have to go to a challenging point where you're using as much. The more you have to pull, the more you have to engage the muscle, the more of those fibers are used. If I'm lifting a lightweight, let's just think about it this way. Muscle fibers are like a bundle of rubber bands. Okay, if I have something really light, I only need a couple rubber bands to pull that thing up, or rope. I only need a couple strings of rope to pull that thing up. If I have something that's heavy, I need to use more rope in order to make that object move. So the heavier you go, the more challenging or intensity you add to the resistance you're actually pulling, the better it's going to be for activating and building muscle, activating hormones and building muscle to increase those hormone receptors. Okay, because you got to have both sides. We'll talk about that some other time. You can have plenty of hormones, but if you don't have enough receptors, it doesn't make a difference, right? So that's another discussion. But in order to increase your muscle size, increase more receptors, and activate more hormone production, you need to move more muscle fiber. Okay, so that's one thing. You have to go heavier than you're probably going heavier now. More challenging than you're probably doing right now. That's number one. Number two, the other way to get more muscle involved is to do more compound movements. So instead of just doing bicep curls and just isolation movements, okay, get something that is going to move multiple joints at the same time. Squats, deadlift, pressing motion, right? Things where you have to hinge, where you have to use your back and your core to stabilize, as well as use your legs. So machines are great if you're a beginner, okay? At some point in time, let's start moving away from just using machines where the machines are stabilizing for you to where you have to learn how to use more of your overall body musculature to keep things stable while you're moving weight around. Okay, it's going to improve not just the physical performance side of things, but using more muscle is going to help improve your hormone profile. Okay, so a couple things to think about, guys. If you're having hormone issues, or if you have a goal to just get better hormone production, improve your hormone numbers, particularly testosterone, okay? For men and women, I deal with a lot of women who have low T, okay? It's an issue. You need to address it, all right? Then lift heavy, lift hard, lift frequently, lift often, move your body well, and get more multi-joint compound movements with resistance into your routine.